Jai Gurudev. Today we missed the satsang, so I thought I will give you guys something to reflect on, which I have been thinking. So we started with Ashtavakra Gita, and we were going to start Narada Bhakti Sutra today's satsang, which we missed. So we hear these terms, knowledge. We talk about knowledge a lot, then truth and love, right? So Ashtavakra Gita we are saying it's all about truth. We are talking about truth and knowledge. And Narada Bhakti Sutra, we are going to talk about love. Now, bringing the practical experience of what we have into some of these abstract terms is important, otherwise we start making concepts out of them. So when we say knowledge in this spiritual path and what Gurudev has told us, knowledge is not information. Knowledge is that which we hear, we reflect on, and eventually that takes us to the point where we realize that we don't know. If it takes us to that point where we realize we don't know, or it takes us to a point of wonderment, then knowledge has served its purpose, right? Where we understand that we don't know. After hearing all of these things, the essential conclusion that it tries to take us to is that we don't know. That is knowledge. Knowledge is objective. Knowledge is not a library of books in your library or a lot of concepts in our mind. Knowledge is the experience of truth. So that is knowledge. And how does it happen? It happens like we discussed last week. There are 3 steps: Shravana, Manana, and then Nididhyas. So first we hear, then we reflect, and then it becomes an experience. It's a 3-step process. Eventually it will become an experience, and that is the cycle of knowledge. Truth, and we will talk a lot about truth in Ashtavakra Gita. Truth is the realization of what we are, which we call in by many names. We are attributeless, right? Niranjana, or qualityless, or nothingness. There are so many different words that we have tried to use. And Gurudev says in the first or second video of Ashtavakra that truth cannot be said, and hence whatever we are saying is a lie. So very difficult to explain in words, but truth is, what he says is the realization that we are attributeless. Attributeless means no quality. Consciousness, awareness, all of those words we have used. So that is truth. Now if you look at Ashtavakra Gita, the essence or the emphasis is on truth, right? Again and again, we'll as we go chapter by chapter, Ashtavakra is going to say, you are not this, you are not this, you are not this, right? You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the objects of the senses. So detach yourself from all of it and meditate on the fact that you are the unmoving awareness. So this is, he says in so many different ways again and again and again. You are not the doer of actions, right? So many ways he will say, and we'll see that as we go. And very beautifully Gurudev has explained very simply what that means. But the essence of Ashtavakra Gita is on truth. The essence is on truth, and it takes us to truth. Whereas in Narada Bhakti Sutra, the essence is, the emphasis is on love, and it also takes us to the end point of love. Now, the difference here is that when we say love in Narada Bhakti Sutra, again, Like in Ashtavakra Gita, it starts with knowledge, takes us to truth, but in Narada Bhakti Sutra, it starts with love and takes us to love. Right? Love, it begins with talking about love and takes us to love. So it's very beautiful. Ashtavakra starts with knowledge, takes us to truth, or focuses on truth also, you can say, and takes us to truth, which is the realization that we are attributeless, qualityless, Brahman, awareness, whatever you call it, right? Which cannot be described. You are none of these, not a person with qualities, any of these. It takes us to that point. Whereas in Narada Bhakti Sutra, it says Prema Sarupa. You are like love. Your nature is love. So it takes the path of love, but it expands that concept of love that we have, because all of us know what love is in this world, but that's the love that we know of generally is the conditional love, right? I love you because you are my father, my mother, my wife, my husband, my child, my friend. I love this particular object because it appeals to me. I love this particular quality because it agrees with me. So all the love, everybody has experienced love, but the love that we know is conditional. So it starts there and then expands and expands and expands and takes us to the point where we understand that when it says your nature is love, that love is attributeless love. It is unconditional love. So very beautifully, Narada Bhakti Sutra and Ashtavakra, two different paths, eventually goes and merges in that same point, which is starts with knowledge and truth, takes us to truth, starts with love, expands, 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 take us to that unconditional love, that love that we generally have only a little bit of a glimpse. And it meets at that one point, which is truth and love, both truth and love, and that is our nature, right? Both truth and love, right? We say Sat Chidananda, right? So Sat is truth, Ananda, love, bliss is that, and Chit is the energy, right? So Sat Chit Ananda, it meets at that point. So two different paths, goes in two different ways, meets at the same point, which is our essential nature. So I just wanted to share this small little thought that came to my mind today. And as we begin Narada Bhakti Sutra next week, and as you all see the video, I hope this will help you reflect a bit on the difference between what does it really mean, knowledge, truth, what does it mean, love. And these reflections are our own satsangs, are often very helpful in this spiritual path. So I hope you find it useful. And Jai Gurudev, I'll see you guys next week.